Gady will be sort of helping us out with like the technical side of things. So, oh, we're off. I wasn't ready. We're off.
We are off.
Anyway, as I was saying, Gady will be helping with the technical side of things. Yeah, so that's it. We're off. I wasn't ready. I was too busy.
Too busy introducing.
Too busy introducing. Too busy digressing.
Yeah.
So they are currently perfectly synced.
For now, until Lurs start hitting in. But essentially, until Alexis gets here, I will probably be a main commentator, and then when she gets here, I'll probably just be here for technicalities and stuff, and strats and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So the first mission here is Curler Caper. For the first couple of missions, there isn't actually going to be much difference between the two runners. The coin mounts are pretty much the same. Mission strategies are all the same. The only real difference which will influence them is their coin routes throughout the whole game, not necessarily just through the individual levels, and the 2 frame rates that they run on. Because I know Vapor, I think, runs on a 120, and Cyther runs on a 144, I think.
I think that sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah. So the main differences between them frame rates is on 144, you'll just essentially hit more bumps, and the more bumps you hit.
Vapor has already missed the first vending machine, but that's okay.
Yeah, he has. Vapor did say he was a little bit nervous before the run, which is obviously a given, having to be Cyther a second time in order to win.
So for now, their routes will be identical. They won't do anything differently for now. And to be honest, throughout the whole run, we should see a very identical route from both runners.
Yeah, and mostly identical. There are some differences. I don't think Vapor does mini grinding, whereas I know Cyther definitely does. But both of them had pretty good SMRTs. Nothing really to distinguish as of yet. So one thing to note from yesterday's run as well, Vapor did PB, and that did put him into the top 4 of runners in ASM and SHA, bopping Robot Croc, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was a record held by Croc for a really long time.
Yeah, he's been in the top 4 for a while.
Yeah, that 4th place, and it's crazy to think that the top 5 in hit and run now is a 132, which is mental.
Yeah. The game overall has just progressed so much recently in the past year. Even in the past couple of weeks, there's been just a lot of new strategies brought in. Like the other day, just the out of bounds was discovered that we can do in Homer 2.
So this mission is Petty Theft Homer, in which you have to go and find Ned's lost items.
Very lost items.
Very miscellaneously lost items. Worryingly lost items. For example, an inhaler on the top of a beer truck.
Yeah. This is one of the first missions as well where you can kind of start to distinguish players. Just because it's a mission that involves driving, and the cars at this rate aren't necessarily the fastest at accelerating. So there is kind of that where if you hit a traffic car, you will lose quite a lot of time. And following this mission is also one that definitely distinguishes runners from one another, which is office-based. Notoriously one of the hardest strats in the early game, if not the hardest strat in the early game.
Quite a nice Lenny skip there. Lenny skip can be a very infuriating strat to get wrong, because sometimes Lenny can just start... oh, now Barney just got knocked out there, but I think yeah, that should be okay. Now Lenny skip can be quite annoying because Lenny can just respawn the other side of the road. Essentially what we do is we push him to the other side of the road to get him closer to Barney, to make it easier to save time to when we buy the Plow King. Sometimes if we lose sight of Lenny for too long, he'll just respawn back where he normally would be, and we would have wasted time with the strat itself.
Yeah. So you can see Cyther just coming up now, hoping to get a relatively good hit on Smithers, so that he can turn around and have Smithers still behind him. Although he does have the glass.
That traffic car.
Looks like
that's going to be. Wow, that was really unlucky.
Him from getting the strat. Giving Vapor the possibility, yes, maybe the possibility of getting an okay-ish early lead. If Cyther isn't able to get this back up, which he does anyway.
There's a sticking out pixel there, for want of a better way to say
just
it.
a really weird physics object. So Vapor is just ever so slightly in the lead, I think, looking at these times.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah. So this is the first platforming mission as well. Yeah, Vapor dislikes button jump, but Cyther goes for it and gets the early cycle as well. So he'll catch up a little bit of time on this. So this is one of a few platforming missions actually in the game overall. There's not really much to say about it. It's just getting cycles, that just global cycles. Okay, and now the mission following this is Flowers by Irene, which is the first follow mission in the game. In order to go fast in this mission, what we need to do is we need to stay within a close range of the black van, so that it goes as fast as it can do. This is because rubber banding exists from levels 1 and 2, and this does end up going away in levels 3 to 7. So we tried to collect coins in this mission with it being a follow mission, since we have not that much influence on how fast we can actually go. The two main places are behind the Krusty Burger and Ecletus house, and then a wasp in the trailer yard, but other than that we don't really collect many more coins, other than the 2 wasps and the stonecutters. And I believe this is the first mission where they will get freebies as well, because I don't think they went for them in Petty Theft.
I'm guessing, Gady, you're going to explain the freebie system.
I mean, I can explain the freebie system.
Give it your best shot.
So, the way the freebie system works in this game is the wasp cameras that we have to destroy to get coins. They are assigned actors within a level. These actors have 2 states. They can either be alive or they can be dead. If they're dead, they have no collision. If they're alive, they do have collision. Levels 1 and 3 are unique in that they have 3 wasp actors, and unfortunately Vapor didn't get the wasp there. And this 3rd wasp actor is only cycled in if 2 wasps need to be spawned at a time, which is what allows us essentially to get 3 freebies in this mission, compared to the 2 which we would only normally be able to get.
Good explanation.
There's a lot more technicality to it, but I'll just keep it simple.
It's a weird system. Very weird system.
Yeah, it is. And we're able to reset these actor states by just simply going to the main menu and just loading back into the game.
Have we worked out if it's intentional or just a coding bug?
I'm pretty sure it was a bug, or just poor coding on their part. Both of them did get the black van stuck there. So that is one unfortunate side effect, where if you go too fast in this mission, and go for both of the freebies, that black van can get stuck on that doorway. So it happens a lot in all tasks for me. Vapor wanted to rage quit that.
Close. So this is Bone Storm. This can be a bit of a finicky mission if the traffic's not playing ball. Otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward mission. you have to just knock crates out the back of this van here. If the traffic gets in the way, it can be quite hard. Or alternatively, it can pin the truck to make it very easy to get the crates.
Yeah, so there are some instances where traffic can be useful. So like if the Burnstorm truck hits the traffic and then you slam into it and then it moves the traffic out of the way and it just goes straight forward. It is faster in that sense, but it's just incredibly inconsistent to hope for that. It is also worth noting that I mentioned the frame rate differences earlier. The higher frame rate that you're on, I believe the more checks there are to see if you've actually collided with the Burnstorm truck, so it's easier to collect missions, to do hit and collect missions on higher frame rates. And you see both of them went for the neighbor's wasp and the freebie there in the canyon area. After main menu warping flowers. So now we're into Fat and Furious, where we're doing Lenny skip just to get through this door. And it saves us having to go all the way around the map, which would be a significant time loss.
Really a whole lot to say for the end of this mission. It's just a straightforward, well, going backwards, really. The idea of phasing through that wall is it's far quicker than to sort of go the normal way. So if you can just reset the car, phase through that wall, and essentially be quicker. Okay, I believe we're syncing times up. Yep. Thanks, Josh. Okay, so on to part 1.
Simpson at your service. It's part time. That was totally
I'll get you, Bart.
So this mission,
afraid not.
Afraid so.
Afraid not.
it can be a little painful if. So the idea is to get away from Skinner. Skinner can sometimes really not go where you want him to go, and sometimes can really get stuck in. Sorry, not stuck. Can really get you stuck in places, and he will refuse to let you out because he will pin you against the wall and he will not let you move. However, that didn't happen this time. The backup strat there would have been to go into the DMV, because essentially the way that the interiors work, like a lot of other games, the interiors for buildings.
I'll never lose these love handles.
Okay, so you're going to see that both of them here are using 2 different traffic vehicles. Cyther is using the taxi, and Vapo is using the sports car. The taxi in this game is actually slower than the sports car, mainly because of the acceleration. They both have the same top speed, but in terms of going fast against a timer, the sports car is the fastest. It has 0.5 acceleration more. In fact, no, sorry, it has 1 acceleration more, which makes quite a big difference
Jump to light speed.
between the 2 times. So you'll probably see Vapor just gain a little bit of time on him, just for the sake of getting the sports car here. And you will notice that this is going to be a common theme throughout the whole of BART. There are a lot of missions where we can use our own vehicle, and these 2 cars are much faster than the Honor Roller. I think the Honor Roller is 10 speed less, and it has an acceleration in between the 2 of them. At the end of this mission, close to the end of this mission, we also have to escape Wiggum.
All for Bart.
You'll see Cyther attempting this now. Yeah, so basically what
drive through the legs here, and that's it. We escape Wiggum.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just his AI that tells him to follow the rules of the road and to turn around, which causes that.
He is a police officer, so.
Yeah, he has to abide by the laws, of course.
Sorry for missing that freebie. That wasn't Actually, no, sorry. No, he did miss that freebie. There was a traffic car that was parked.
Yeah,
However,
he
he
did.
can get it
Vapo
later
did
on.
get it.
Vapo did get it, yeah. He can get it later on, though.
Yeah. You'll notice that the car that they're racing in this race is significantly faster than them. If you're going to compare this to actual other cars that the player can get, it's similar to, I'm pretty sure, Cowbell for Homer in level 5, which is quite a jump to the cars that we're able to drive at this point.
Vapor got lucky there and got another sports car, whereas Scyther got a taxi
got
car.
another taxi.
It's the acceleration that matters, to be honest.
Yeah, it's the acceleration which saves the time, essentially. So Barn Frink is the second follow mission.
I think Vapor missed the box. He got the wasp, but not the box. On the steps back there. He might be able
that
to,
he can still recover in Monkey See, though.
He'll get it, yeah.
So what's interesting there is Vapor didn't even attempt to do the dirt jump. Like, he wasn't exactly trying to keep up to speed with it. It was just deciding to fall back and just play the safe strat. I suppose in a tournament run it makes sense, because you can lose quite a lot of time by just...
Ooh, Vapo spinning out on that wall there, that wasn't nice.
Yeah, it's not very nice. He's going to get far enough away, though, so that the black van will have to slow down. And he does get back in time to correct it. Yeah, it was a very good save.
What can happen there is the black van can just decide to get itself stuck in between the little ramp and the
Oh, he missed. Vapor misses another box as well.
He misses that box. That's not that great. So the van gets stuck, but what Vapor did there is he managed to veer him out of the way.
Yeah, he managed to prevent that. The main reason why that happens is because the developers of this game thought it a good idea to put the checkpoint for the pizza van to the side of the junction instead of putting it in the middle. So the car thinks he's got it, but he doesn't. That makes sense. Which is why he turns around. So this part is fairly simple. You'll see that both of them used a reset to get a little bit of a head start on the highway. The way that car resets work in this game is, I think it's if you're within 10 meters of a road, it will, and you do a car reset, it will put you onto that section of road. Because the little shortcut that they went up isn't classed as a main road, the game doesn't identify that as a car spawn. So that's why it puts us up on the highway. And Josh, to answer your question, essentially your cars can go faster, you can jump higher, as Sadly has said. The little bumps in the roads will give you an acceleration as well.
For example, the potholes outside of Mo, with a lower FPS, you wouldn't get as much of a boost through those. In fact, you'll slow down quite a bit on a lower FPS, but on a higher FPS, you can sort of shoot past those potholes. With Cyther getting another freebie there. You'll notice they're not taking the intended route. That's just simply to get a few nicer coins, and also it makes the run back down a bit quicker, I believe.
I think it's just faster overall as well. I don't actually know off the top of my head. So yeah, that train there, which is very interesting. If the backside of the train that they went through, that was open, if it's closed, because the physics in this game are very clunky, you can just slide right under it and pass it. Just pass through it and not receive any damage to your vehicle. It's just one of the weird quirks that this game has.
I think Vapo missed another freebie by the car wash. Sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah, he missed it by the car
there's a
wash.
few coins that Vapo doesn't have, but Cyther does have. I think Cyther got that, so he'll go for this.
Yeah, so
box.
Vapor went for the Lapin strat instead. Vapor did get the escape as well. Cyther didn't get the escape and had to go for toward the hospital, but he got a vending machine, so he didn't lose that much time for the sake of his coins.
So now they're pretty much neck and neck again.
Yeah, I think Vapor is ever so slightly ahead by a second or two. So the first mission, not the first mission, the mission that we're coming up to now is Monkey See, Monkey Do. There are two cars that we would prefer to use for this mission. The first being Mr. Plow, the second being the sports car that we used earlier. The sports car is faster overall for this mission. As it is, I think it's faster than Mr. Plow, yeah. Mr. Plow is the intended vehicle for this game, though.
There is a sports car right there if Cyther wanted to take it.
Yeah,
but
what's interesting is Cyther opted to not do that. It does make the freebie slightly inconsistent, but it is faster and there are plenty of opportunities to get them. So yeah, neither of them went for it. I didn't see if Vapor had it spawned in the car lot.
Vapo right now is a little undercoined. Well, he's undercoined. Actually, no, he's not. I've told a lie. He's not undercoined. He's actually, I think he's actually the same as Cyther. They're
Really?
actually very.
He's missed a fair amount as well, hasn't
I
he?
know, but I think. Hang on. He's about 25 below Cyther, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, their coin counts are equal. They're not bad coins.
Yeah. Vapo's not too under. He can certainly find areas to collect more coins. So right now he's fine.
Does miss the box on that construction jump though.
He did also miss that wasp in Cletus, yeah. He didn't get the wasp.
Yeah, he missed the car wash one, yeah.
Yeah. And he also missed this box here. So actually,
yeah, but missing that box isn't too bad of a deal.
It's not. Yeah, he can get it there.
Cyther just missing the quick drop there. But overall, a very tiny mission. So now Cyther is moving on to Sellouts, which is probably one of the biggest run killers for runners. Partially because of the mission and partially because of the cutscene skip that we have after it. And the interesting part of this is the cutscene that... Oh, Cyther's actually getting a...
That was a superb...
interesting first car.
That wasn't bad, though.
No, not bad, but...
That was a lot of damage very quickly. But maybe not the most optimal place to get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Vapo... I wouldn't... I think Vapo actually probably got a fastest first car, actually. Even though Cyther got it earlier. Vapo, I think, got further up before, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So Cyther got a much bigger hit on the second car than Vapor did. And I think this is going to be the one mission that's probably going to distinguish one from the other. And what's going to...
And once again, traffic.
One more time over.
Traffic getting in the way again.
Yeah, for both of them as well. I want to know how Scythe is going to deal with the cutscene at the end of this, though. Because the game yesterday, he did miss it, which gave Vapor a chance to come and catch up. And for a tournament run, a 6:30 for Scythe isn't that bad.
Not at all. However, let's see if Scythe can
get the cutscene skip, yeah.
So glad to be of service.
This so far has proven to be a very good close race, similarly to how it was yesterday.
Scythe does not get the
Scythe
cutscene
missed
skip.
it again. Are we
Let's
going to
see
have a
if we can
repeat of yesterday?
Vapo
Doing the buffering.
does
Gets
get it.
Vapor here takes an early lead.
Now that happened yesterday. Scyther managed to come back, but there's no guarantee that he'll come back again. So
Yeah. Compared to yesterday, if I remember rightly, Vapor and Scyther were both pretty much starting level 3 at the same time. So Vapor is going faster than he was yesterday in comparison to Scyther. What's worth noting as well, just taking a quick look at Vapor's splits, he's currently on PB pace leaving Bart.
this could be exciting.
2
PBs in 2 days.
Yeah. Scyther would have been green leaving Bart had he got the cutscene skip as well.
Not really a whole lot to say about this mission, but just doing another sync.
Yeah. So for grand finals, this is turning out to be a quite interesting match already. The cutscene skip fail has just really closed the gap between Vapor and Scyther, and has allowed Vapor to take the lead essentially. No, I did notice that last game, neither of them attempted to go for the boat coins, and Vapor instead opted to go for Clueless. I wonder if either of them will actually get it this time.
So Clueless is a weird mission. It's Lisa trying to figure out where Bart is by going around and asking people, but for some reason the only person she decides to ask is Milhouse. And also Milhouse gets to every location before Lisa does. It's a bit of an odd mission, but to be honest, why bother questioning it? So as you can see, here's Milhouse again. Vapo pausing there, I'm not too sure what happened there. So we'll see what happens here. Vapo may be opting to... No, he's just going to jump through.
Yeah, Vapor opted to not go for the beach coins. Probably better because it is very inconsistent and you can lose a little bit of time if you miss it. So yeah, he's just going for the Clueless coins now.
As you can see, that room has a lot of coins in it and is very, very useful for a coin route, obviously.
So yeah, Clueless is just another one of the missions where there isn't really much to say other than sometimes the timer can get pretty close. It really depends.
Milhouse decided to take a dive down the ravine. That's not good.
He just wants to go for a little bit of a swim.
What people want to do here is walk away from it, otherwise Milhouse will just decide to stop as if you were going to talk to him. So yeah, Vapo realised quite quickly that he's going to have to walk away, otherwise Milhouse... he can somehow just climb up almost vertical cliff face, but we won't question that. Now, Bonfire of the Manatees can be a very difficult mission if traffic doesn't play ball.
Which he almost didn't for Vapor, but did work out for him in the end. Yeah, he reacted well to it. Scyther is closing the gap again. He's catching up slowly. We've seen that Vapor's got it. I wonder if Scyther can grab it too. It looks like he should
no
be
trouble
able to,
because there was no traffic in the way, to be honest. Yeah. Cyther decided to skip clueless coins, so
Oh, that yeah.
yeah.
Did he get the book coins? I was looking at
No.
paper as well. Oh, he didn't. Okay,
I
interesting.
don't think he did. Anyway, on to Operation Hellfish. So we're going to want to get a traffic car here because it's a lot faster than reversing out the Malibu Stacy.
Yeah, and depending on the traffic car as well, if we get the... Sorry, Karen. I'll start then. If we get the pickup truck or the fish van, we can very quickly jump over the rocks, grab an easy box and an easy wasp. It doesn't lose that much time for the amount of coins that you get as well.
As you can see there, we bought the only two things we need to buy in this level are Lisa's outfit and the school bus.
Yeah, Vapo unfortunately getting a fairly bad first car, but recovers it. Isn't able to finish it off on that tree. And also, yeah, I think we forgot to mention, you need the coin routes in the game are essential. So you need to buy certain cars and costumes to be able to go into certain missions. So that's the main reason why we collect coins. So Cyther didn't get as good of a first car. In fact, it's going to get past the second backup point. Well, Vapor's getting a good second car.
That was a very nice second
It's
car.
not driving away. It was very nice. Cyther doing a little car reset.
So what we'll do here is quickly reset, and it'll put us on the other side of that parade of shops, so we can get a nice, very nice hit there from Vapo. That was a very nice
Yeah,
hit.
Cyther is still struggling with this first car, though.
It's got pretty far up traffic. It looks like it's not
Yeah.
on Cyther's side. Traffic really being horrible to both runners so far.
Yeah, it hasn't been the kindest at all. Let's see how Cyther's second car does.
Yeah, a lot of the run can be totally down to RNG as to what car spawns where and when.
Yeah.
Cyther are having a bit of trouble with the second car as well.
Yeah.
So what we can do with traffic, the only real thing we can do with traffic is flick the camera back and forth. Alexis can explain this better than I can, but Gady, I suppose you could explain it as well. There's a technical term that I can't remember for it.
Technical. I just know that when we flip the camera back, it just despawns traffic within an area, or reloads traffic, should I say? But going back to the whole point of RNG in this game, Slippery Sleuthing, which the mission that Vapor's on in Cyther is just about to start, is one of the first instances of it in a mission, where the AI has a certain point to drop, and that last drop is really the one which is RNG. There's a chance that it can go over the bridge, which Vapor didn't get. And there's also the chance that it can just stay at the top of that hill, which is the one that Vapor got, which saves more time. I believe if it goes over the bridge, you can lose somewhere between 10-15 seconds.
If he drops if he drops still on the bridge, you can jump back, which doesn't lose as much time.
Yeah.
Which is preferable. However, it looks like he's not going to drop on the bridge.
He's going to get an unlucky drop. Yeah.
That was a very late drop.
That's a really bad drop for Scyther. It's very unfortunate. Just allowing Vapor to just speed ahead at this point. There are still some places, especially in March, which would allow Scyther to get a good catch-up Vapor, I think.
Yeah, right now this game is really not being nice to Cyther at all. RNG seems to be the biggest sticking point for Cyther right now.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. There are some runs where everything just goes perfectly for you. There is the odd time when everything just goes completely wrong. Like the biggest instance of that is in Hellfish, where that second car, sometimes it will just slam itself into the theater, other times it will just completely ignore you and just continue driving on the road. And it will lose you quite a lot of time as well.
So Vapo was going to opt to get the school bus here. School bus being a much stronger car than the Malibu Stacy. We used to opt to use the Plow King many moons ago, but we now opt to use the school bus.
Yeah, I believe the school bus isn't as tough with the Plow King, but it is faster. And it has more acceleration on the Vapor's.
Oh, Vapor missing
Not
that.
had a very good contact with that. Yeah, he just got the back of it. He went around the side of the back of it rather than hitting it directly in the back, which is a very bad lineup here as well.
He needs to be careful to not ram him completely out of that little entryway. Yeah, this is not a good. I mean, he could leave him. Yeah.
I think he's recovered it. It's going to go grab the coins and it's going to end up playing it safe. This is definitely one of the places where Scyther can catch up here. Not getting a good hit on that limo at the start for Vapor means the limo has to do more damage to itself while it's on that ramp. And the damage that it does to itself on that ramp is very slow, as you can tell. Just by Vapor standing there himself. And yeah, I also do think Sadly goes for the quick kill. So that will be quite a lot of time that sadly that Scyther is able to catch up on Vapor.
That Wasp not even going to bother going for it since it started flying in the wrong direction.
Yeah, see if Scyther gets.
Oh no, he did get it at the end there. Yeah, Scyther gets the quick.
Scyther's got the quick kill, so he has closed the gap by quite a bit.
Nicely done there by Scyther. So Vapo has just moved on to the traffic. The traffic there. The garbage truck decided to trap Wiggum against the wall of that blue house. That was.
That's just one example of where traffic cannot be kind at all. So traffic isn't only going to influence like us as the player; it will also influence everything that we have to follow. You'll see this is more prominent in the later levels, especially where the cars get faster. And in level 5 is when it mainly starts to happen. So we're going to see if Vapor is able to get the quick donut, and he does get that freebie. Yeah.
Will he get donut fire? Oh, the traffic! The traffic again.
Is not being kind, but
to anyone today. I don't know if Vapor's going to go for the quick or the old. I think he's going to be going for old donut fire.
I think he's just going to try and collect that donut, yeah. And he's going to try and be aggressive to get as many drops in as small a time than he can.
This is a little deviation of the
the mini grinding route. Yeah.
Double taps that box, opting to not break it, so he'll come back for a mission.
Yeah, I believe that's the first instance of mini grinding that Scyther has.
Now Scyther, however, does slowly but surely get the strat, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it pretty safe. So that's just more time that he's going to pick up on Vapor as well.
Although he will have to get out of the car to get those donuts.
Yeah.
That's if he's lucky, a Wasp will come over. I don't think a Wasp's going to come over. No. Sometimes
I don't think so.
Fly over. That's rare, but sometimes 2 Wasps can fly over, even, which is even rarer.
Yeah. The Wasp on the gas station wouldn't have flown over because he didn't spawn it. But the one on top of the lads could have done, but it chose not to. So first of all, we're now into probably one of the most important follow missions that will deviate between these two. This is one of the missions that Scyther, I believe, failed yesterday.
He did, yeah.
When trying to mini grind on the box, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully the same won't happen to him today.
He might not even go for it, knowing what happened yesterday.
Yeah. Well, if he's not gone for clueless, okay, not sure what Cletus is doing there to Scyther, but
that was Moving on. Yeah. Scyther opting to get 2 vending machines here as well.
Yeah.
So Vapo coming up to, I think, the point where Cyther
Vapo
failed
doesn't
to
grind that.
finish.
Yeah, Vapo doesn't grind that box. With not getting clueless, I would assume Cyther would.
If he does, he's
If he does, he might have to close the gap quite a little bit, or go
Yeah.
for the safer second box. And
we'll
after
see
getting
what he
stuck on
does.
that pole, I think it'd be a little bit
He's
risky.
gonna double tap
He's
it.
going for it.
He does it a lot cleaner than he did yesterday. Now that's how you do it.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried when that pole got in his way and stopped his acceleration, but not looking like as much of a problem as I once thought.
However, as soon as he gets out of his car, every physics object, for some reason, freezes in place and becomes a non-physics object, if that makes sense. I.e., the collision for the object completely disappears once you've got out of your car after you hit it. So he could drive his car through the pole. That happens with every object that you can knock over in the game. So Vapo, we haven't explained main menu. Did we explain main menu warps?
I'm pretty sure I did it when I mentioned Wasp Collision.
My bad.
It's fine. So I didn't see what Vapor's coin count is, but Cyther's on 631.
475.
475.
Vapo.
That's after buying the costume as well.
Yeah. So it'll be three. What was that? 360?
Yeah, there's about 100 coins difference in them. 115 difference. So both of them are now on a mission Redneck Roundup, where we're in a very slow car with very slow acceleration, and if anything goes wrong, we can lose some time if we crash into anything at all. Again, there are each car is able to handle freebies differently because of their hitbox. The pickup truck is fairly consistent with getting wasps, particularly the chessboard wasps. In the back of Ben's mansion is one that we get. You probably see Vapor going for the one on the left-hand side. It doesn't lose much time overall. Most of the time we get to keep our momentum. You see he gets it.
Whoa. Cyther going sideways there.
The box. Yeah, he went to go for the box on the roof and very luckily got it. That looked quite sketchy.
That was that was a bit of a stunt there.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So Vapor is now escaping the easiest sedan to escape in the game. It likes to just stay in the power plant most of the time. It's getting very unlucky. After going over the jump, he'll definitely have escaped it. Cyther just coming up to the wheel, making the jump very nicely.
Wheel of Fortune.
The Gampton Wheel of Fortune. So, what you're seeing Vapor do here is he's making his way to the phone booth. The reason why he's going to call the Malibu Stacy car. The Malibu Stacy car is faster than the Canyonero. Well, it has the same speed, but it accelerates faster. So for the same reason that we use the sports cars and the taxis in level 2.
Sorry. Cyther's very close to getting busted then.
Yeah, he has got his hit and run. Luckily, he's at the end of a mission, so he shouldn't get busted.
No.
Yeah, he's safe. But the reason why we use the Malibu is for the same reason that we use the sports car over the taxi. It's just got more acceleration, which means it saves more time overall. It also allows us to do the camera pan skip, to skip the camera pan into the Return of the Nearly Dead. We're able to activate a camera pan skip by either equipping a piece of clothing or getting a phone from the phone booth after a forced car mission, which is the whole reason why this strat saves time. So, Wolf Still My Pills, which Vapor is on now, is also notorious for confusing us in the community with glitches and 2 cycles and why a lot of stuff happens. So in this mission, we have to collect pills from the black sedan while also staying in range of the black sedan and not letting any of the pills despawn. Even though I don't think any of them have a timer. So fail glitch, which I mentioned earlier, is something which can happen when the theory was that if you leave too many items out at once, then it can just have a chance of fail glitching you. But that was debunked the other day when I believe Liquid had less than 3 and still got the fail glitch. So it's really is a mystery to us as to why it fail glitches. But another thing that can happen is the 2 cycle, which we'll see if Vapor gets in a minute. And the 2 cycle happens is because each object here has a designated area which it has to drop. I believe either the area overlaps or the sedan just misses the area entirely, and luckily Vapor got 2 very quick drops there. And he's going to be heading off fine.
I suppose we'll see how Cyther gets it.
Yeah.
It is rare, but it
does
does
hit a run meter up as well. Once again,
that is a high rate and run meter. If he runs over a person, then he shouldn't hit anything up here except from the little bins that are placed. But
yeah, the bins in the box. And Scyther's got a very late drop there.
Scyther might get 2
Hopefully
cycles.
it's not
Oh
just...
my,
Oof.
that was close.
That was very close. Scyther has been very unlucky this run, and I think that would have been very unfair for it to happen at that point. But he's still managing to keep the distance between him and Vapor quite close. And yeah, Vapor is currently 50 seconds ahead of his PB. So yeah, both of them are pretty much safely out at the back end of this mission now. So at this point in the last race, Scyther and Vapor were in the cutscene. I think both of them were in the cutscene, and both of them were a couple of seconds apart. So this race is still seeming to be close, similar to the last one. The main difference now is Vapor's ahead and Cyther is ever so slightly behind.
A planet with an antenna? That sounds awfully familiar. I think it was at the Quickie Mart. That's it. It was on a bottle of pop.
So the mission after this one as well is a very simple platforming-esque mission, which is the Cola was, where essentially we just go around collecting some cans to give to Bart for him to drink, so he can talk properly again. In general, this mission isn't too mechanical. We think of it as a good opportunity to go around and grab some coins, and kind of like have a little bit of a breather. It's quite a relaxed, just a little break within the run.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
So this is an interesting mission, as you just Gady just mentioned. It's a curious one. Collecting 30 cans. Not really a whole lot to say. Both runners will obviously keep to the same route. I think there was a car crash there. That's okay. Yeah, not a whole lot of difference here. Just a case of following quite an obvious route, really. A few areas to get wasps, a few areas to get a box. certainly a good mission to get coins on. Well, will Vapo opt to go for the card? He does go for the Mr. Plow Jacket. Excellent. That's good. So the next mission is, honestly, can be quite a tough mission. There's a very early on strat that the runners are going to want to go for, which we might see. Scyther is very consistent in getting that particular strat. We'll see if Vapo can get it here. So the idea is, now these trucks you have to destroy, they are tough. These are tough trucks. And that truck really came out of the starting gate really quite quickly there. That wasn't good. That wasn't good luck for Vapo.
Yeah.
Oh, got a brilliant hit there.
Yeah, he missed the first trap, but he's getting a fair amount of damage just slowly. Comparatively, in the race yesterday, both of them had fairly bad cola trucks. I remember Vapo definitely struggled with his first truck, and I think Scyther struggled with the second. It could have, of course, been the other way around.
Scyther gets a nice first truck though.
Yeah, so that's just going to be time that he's going to gain on Vapo there.
Yeah.
Once again, just slowly closing the gap in the race. And Vapo misses the box, unfortunately. See if Vapo can do this second truck any better.
Oh, it takes him all the way around.
Takes him all the way around, but it's not a bad backup.
Nope.
It's a little bit slower than he'd like, but it's faster than as if it would have been missed.
So the reset there is really quite nice. It's a lot nicer than most other resets. It resets you right back indoors.
Yeah. So Scyther's second truck there was first messed by traffic.
And of course, Canyonero being the Canyonero decides to do that. Go on its side and start slipping around.
Yeah, with the wonky physics.
Yeah, the Canyonero has probably maybe the second worst physics in the game. First being the baby van, sometimes. But that wasn't particularly good physics there. The third truck is arguably the easiest one to get because it's just a straightforward pushing him into that tree and also that fence back there.
Yeah, and Vapo gets the strat nicely there.
Yeah, very quick on there.
Scyther's definitely catching up on this mission as well. But both of them, compared to yesterday, have had much better races, especially with this mission.
So for the rest of the mission, we'll just be collecting a few more coins, a box and a vending machine, and that'll do them for level 4. Yeah,
both of them have relatively good coins as well. In Apu, what they need is 925 coins to buy the Cabal for Homer and Apu American. I think both of them will have very similar coin amounts. Scyther will probably be a box or two just below. But he's definitely making a comeback here.
Being very speedy.
Yeah. Definitely making use of the time. So for time difference between them, there's about roughly 20 seconds, probably just a little bit less, I believe. So yeah, this the first mission in level 5 is interesting. There's a lot that can go wrong, mainly down to traffic.
So you
but there's also the drops as well.
Vapo managed to get up the stairs. Sometimes this car's ground clearance can be a little bit weird. The ground clearance can sometimes prevent you from going up those stairs, which it's quite weird. I don't really know why, but sometimes it'll just bump into the stairs and not actually be able to go up them.
So yeah, hopefully neither of them buy the wrong costume here.
That would be a big rip.
So we know Vapor's got it. Hopefully Scyther gets it as well. Yeah, he does. So as I was saying before, with this mission, we have to follow this cola truck while it drops as well. Similarly to in Wolves, there's also the chance for this mission to 2-cycle as well, which is a bit of a pain if it happens because it's probably the longest mission to actually get a 2-cycle on. There's a lot that can go wrong. The truck can get stuck on some stairs and even a fire truck. It can go the long way around this highway instead of taking this shortcut. And traffic can just in general be a big nuisance. It can very easily fail this mission for you because this truck is actually quite fast. It can very easily get away from you and punish you for crashing.
I believe we are now being joined by Alexis.
Hey,
Yeah.
under any other circumstances, this wouldn't have happened. Can you update me on how this race is going?
Close race.
It's very close. There's about 20 seconds in it.
Any cutscene skip misses?
Scythe has missed about one. Vapor hasn't missed yet.
It is very close right now.
Yeah, Scyther has really been making use of the time that he has on Vapor in the early game. Vapor is incredibly consistent at the late game. I know that for a fact. I'm not sure on Scyther personally.
Scyther's, his Part 2 is disgustingly good. Like, ridiculous, like IL kind of level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Vapo's van getting stuck on a sports car.
Stuck
by the
on
looks of things, and
traffic,
refusing
yeah.
to refusing to despawn, but it does explode, so that's a good thing.
But no
Yeah.
coins.
We do get explosions, but no coins. That is right, no coins.
Yeah. Both of their coins at the minute are very good as well. They're both safely able to get it if Scyther here isn't busted,
He's
which would be very unfortunate. But he's at the end, so it's not a problem.
Vapor with pin pass?
Scyther did not get pin pals though.
So yeah, this is just another one of them easy missions where the game just pops two things for you to escape from. The first one just drives at you and we can pretty easily avoid it. The second one, we can just not go anywhere near it, just smash into the side of this fountain, reverse, and then just easily get away. Because the limo decides that it wants to go to the hospital instead of following us.
So they are pretty much.
Scyther's just missing that box as well. Scyther's really playing with his hit and run meter. He's been playing very risky this Apu so far. Even in March, he was playing it risky. Yeah, both of them are safely able to buy a car built for Homer. And I think this next mission will be a decider as to possibly who takes the lead here and who falls behind ever so slightly. Because Baby Van can be very decided by RNG. Yeah.
To say the least.
So, we'll see if Vapor is able to get a strat and a good AI or a bad AI.
He's got the bad AI, but it has decided again to mount that particular part of the stonework.
Being the operative word.
And Scyther's one
I think
decided to try and mount the
got a
car.
fairly bad AI as well.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, Scyther's AI looks significantly smarter than Vapor's. Vapor's pretty much has a turning circle about the length of the car, whereas Scyther's is going in relatively straight lines.
Yeah. Both of them are actually getting pretty much the same of a Baby Van here. 2 seconds between them. Scyther being 2 seconds faster there.
So realistically, that didn't change a whole lot. They're still pretty much at the same point.
Yeah, both of them dealt with that very well. I remember that Vapor's Baby Van was very good last time because... Wait.
So this mission is it can be tough. This first bit shouldn't be too difficult for the runners, but the second bit is a lot meaner. So Wiggum is ruthless with his driving. He will push traffic cars out of the way within human strength. A hell of a lot more than what you'd probably expect him to be able to do.
And also there is a unique crash that he can actually get in this little piggy. I'll leave it to Gady to explain because he knows all the tech stuff.
Put it in simple terms, there's too many things loaded at once. If we get hit and run, you'll see on the top of the cop cars there's the flashing lights. Essentially having too many of them in them loaded at once will just crash the game. I believe the crash can be imitated by just going on the highway in this mission with a fire truck, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I think that was something that I read in the Discord once.
It would be a very bold strat to decide to take this mission in the fire truck, I agree.
I'd like to see that. So, coming up to the end of this mission now, nothing really else to say except from collecting this box, collecting this. Oh no, Vapor didn't opt to get the vending machine. So now they are again really close. There's no difference.
Yeah, looking at their split, there's currently 5 seconds between them, which is significantly less than what it was earlier on.
Vapo getting the nice turnaround for the garbage truck though. Cyther still managed to get it quicker than what it normally would be, but not as fast as Vapo did. So you'll notice one thing about this garbage truck, it likes to bounce off of walls a lot, and sometimes traffic can mess it up. But what the runners will do is, as mentioned earlier, flip the camera back to despawn the traffic. Now the end of this mission itself is unique in the sense that it has a timer that's not updated every time an objective is completed, so it's a one long shared timer. So other missions, when you complete an objective, if it has a timer, that timer will get added to or get set to a predetermined value. This mission has one consistent timer that goes all the way throughout. So perhaps if you're playing this casually and you're assuming that, I don't know, assuming that it's based on other missions, you may finish the mission with 30 seconds remaining and think it should update, but it doesn't, which can make this mission a bit deceiving.
It actually gives you an extra second, I believe, just because that's the only way the game can actually program the concept of 2 separate objectives. But yeah, I was watching around earlier by someone who is doing their first ever run, and they were convinced they'd just gotten the last garbage can, and then they were told you have 12 seconds to get back to the DMV. So it is a very deceptive thing to do, and I must admit I didn't actually tell him that was going to happen because I sort of wanted to see how he reacted.
Nice. I think, given the time delay, I think Vapo is only just slightly ahead now.
Yeah, by 3 seconds currently. And Cyther missing the hit
jumping
on
right
the
over.
fence.
That's not good.
That will lose him time. Although he's parked very well there, because there's a point at the first half of the fire truck, just around where the people would sit in. There's sort of like a weird corner there, so if you actually park right in that kind of, if you tuck in there, you'll try to accelerate forward, and you'll just be crashing into a wall, whereas he's actually gone slightly beyond that point, allowing a very, very easy escape.
Also, there's 4 coins in it. They are 4 coins difference. Cyther has 4 less coins than Vapo does. So right now, this is about as close as you could get it.
Indeed.
So Vapo is only just slightly in the lead. But the coins...
6 seconds on my count.
Yeah.
Now, will Vapo go for Ganesh costume? That is the question. On everyone's mind.
I'm going to
No,
say
he will not.
No.
Disappointed. Disappointed.
Cyther opted to go for it. This is a pretty new reset. This is, isn't it? The where you reset.
Going further down, the idea is to give you momentum in the moment you actually land, rather than having to go from essentially a standing start.
So I'm having a little bit of trouble with Snake there.
And here, the juxtaposition of him being massively frustrated that he's been deceived, but also celebrating at the same time. It's either not opting for a main menu warp, although I don't know how many freebies he's gotten here, so I can't really say if that's actually a good play or not. I'm thinking, Jordan, you know what would be really fun?
Go on.
Having to destroy a very, very heavily armored truck. Would you say that'd be fun?
That sounds like a great idea. How about do it with this car as well?
You took the words right out of my mouth. Welcome to Quick Cash, everyone. This is a very difficult mission. If you touch the armored truck before you actually are trying to get the actual strat, there's a very weird thing where, Scyther getting destroyed by a Quimby truck, although it looks like it has actually gotten in.
Vapo also getting destroyed by a Quimby truck.
He should have destroyed the Quimby truck. It was worth 10 coins to him.
That's not
Scyther
good.
will get it.
Really not good for Vapo.
Good first hit, though. As Scyther picks up the second, be it the sit and rotate.
We had 2 Quimby trucks that decided just to destroy both runners. Maybe not so much for Scyther, but that really messed it up for Vapo. He's got a really decent amount of damage so far, though. He's got the bar half full.
One issue I actually seen a lot of new runners on this mission, because they often will not get the actual strat, is that when you touch a vehicle and you start making contact with it, as you touch it for longer and longer, obviously if it's an objective vehicle, because if it's like a traffic vehicle, it'll just like go dead. It will start to get used to you being there and steer more in order to sort of account for your presence there. So you'll notice here Vapo is constantly losing contact with the armor truck in order to keep on getting that heavily influencing turn on it, in order to force it to crash into very solid concrete walls. As Scyther goes into second Wiggum escape. With quite idyllic coins like that.
So Vapo is going to be behind now. But he didn't even manage to get the coins that he would have wanted to get as well. He didn't, so he made menu warps. He would have wanted to get 2 freebies. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that because of the Vote Quimby truck getting in his way.
Okay, just switch over to Scyther's audio, as he is currently ahead.
However, no, Nefarious, no one has been busted yet this run, which is good.
Don't believe her. She's just trying to promote her emote. Let's see how Scyther goes. The Curator is a very quick, very maneuverable, quite tough vehicle, and Scyther gets an absolutely perfect hit on it. There is one strat which is just like the heaven strat essentially, but it's very difficult to get, very uncommon, and Vapo decides to reset there before picking up the gazebo box, so he's going to be even more undercoined.
So Scyther got the cutscene skip now.
Will
Vapo
will not get the strat. He should be able to get a good hit off here, and he does.
Yeah, that was a good hit.
With some good manipulation, we'll be able to destroy it before it even gets to the end of the tunnel.
There we go.
As Scyther here appears to just be on a rampage, running over children. Coins 5622. If he picks up the box on the Squidport, he will require 7 coins from just general pickup to afford Globex Supervillain, as Vapo decides to go back for Gazebo Box and will be probably using his alt-tap strats. Going for the Wasp as well. He'll be using his alt-tap strat in order to make the second cutscene skip bufferable.
And Vapo does
Timer's
get the
red as
cutscene
well.
skip.
What does Scyther do?
I'm not too sure what Scyther's doing. Oh,
This is a very interesting strat. So
that's new.
I think I know what he's going to be trying to do here. He's going to try... Oh no, he's not going to do that. I thought for a sec he was going to not pick that up. And then pick it up later during set to kill, where you lose less momentum because you're in Globex car.
Well, that was
But his
interesting.
coins are...
He did it so he can buy Globex. He wouldn't have had enough coins otherwise.
He would have been 7 short, but I'd say like on the final road, there are 4 trees. There's a few lampposts on the way. He would have been able to afford it with enough like determination.
I haven't seen
And-
Lighthouse strats for a while.
Oh, I think we're just syncing. We're syncing
Yeah,
up
we're
there.
syncing.
Okay, Guff informing us here that Cyther has actually used that strat before. And Vapo's coins are decent, 14 coins short, so he might also opt to go for the Lighthouse strat, if he knows it.
Fine by me.
Scyther might opt to... So yesterday he decided to double tap this box. I don't know if it's intentional or not.
I doubt it was.
No, I think he just sort of maybe misclicked and realised he wouldn't be able to get... He should have known. I don't know. It must have just been a mistake on Scyther's part.
Vapo's still 12 coins short. I'd say he's getting almost past the point where it's impossible to pick up the 12 coins. So what I think he's going to do here is he's going to allow this to happen. He's going to skip the animation, get into the Freeney, reverse into the vending machine, and then drive to Kearney.
He
That'll
was
get him
very,
the
very
coins he
lucky
needs.
to not get busted then.
Oh no, I did actually notice he actually got the car built for Vapo, so he is going to be using those strats. It is, last time I know when it was measured, it was considered to be 2 seconds slower. However, it did afford you the ability to get freebies because, as you can tell by the difference with the height of the 2 cars, the hitbox is a lot higher for car built for Homer, which makes it better for taking out wasps, which, as we all know, fly. 180 by Vapo.
That was nice. Vapo very close to losing the itchy and scratchy van there.
It's relatively safe. Like you can hang back a fair bit, and it only matters as to when the van gets to its final position. You
Yeah.
don't have to, like, it doesn't continue going beyond the Crusty Limo until you get there. It's just like gets Crusty Limo and. And now for Lab Coat Caper. Gaily insisted that I didn't say this. However, I will say the time to ponder life. The time to ponder what brought you to this junction. Speedrunning the Simpsons hit and run. However, there are certain aspects of this that are actually quite interesting to optimize. The distance to which Scyther is trying to stay behind the hover car is a distance so that everything in front of the hover car is basically the first point at which, when you look behind, the despawn will actually activate. So the distance behind he's trying to keep is quite precise, and he's going to be picking up between 4 and 5 vending machines depending on his strat.
Scyther
Missing
very.
that
oh,
one.
that could have been a
He
an
might
initial
end
fail.
up- I think he's going to skip out Krusty Burger, and he's going to pick that one up using the reset.
Not really much more to talk about this mission other than
We'll see how Cyther decides to account for the poor attempt first time. And he is going to try to do what I said. He's going to take that and reset, although he has not taken the Noiseland Arcade. Or no, wait. No, Chuck E. Cheese. I always get the 2 buildings mixed up. But yeah, he's about a vending machine short. You're going to see Vapo here going to pick up the Chuck E. Cheese. This is what Cyther wanted to do, but couldn't.
Vapo is really far ahead of the hover car. So now Scyther is on to Duff Me, Duff for You. Again, another horrible mission. If
Yeah,
you
we'll see
miss
what
the
happens.
strat.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what he attempts here, because until recently we only had one method of getting the great strat. However, this actually existed, I think, all the way back in 2014, but we just sort of fell out of memory for some reason. Is that you can either try to tail end him, or fishtail, I think is the name of the maneuver, or you can actually go on his left, which Scyther is going to attempt here, push him in, and he will fly like that.
Nicely done. That was very nice.
Absolutely perfect. I find this method's a little bit easier because you have to deal with the very heavy lamppost if you go the other way.
That's all of them, Cyther. That's all of them, Cyther. There we go.
You gotta be sure. I find Duck Truck is
sure.
I find Duck Truck is sometimes inconsistent. I feel like I have to hit it harder. See if he gets a freebie here. He does indeed. Can I ask, how are the boat strats going? Did Gady or did Vapo go for it? Did Cyther go for it?
No,
Sounds right.
No, Vapo went for the normal clueless coins, and Cyther didn't go for any of the coins.
Okay.
This is too cool for school.
Fire in the hole.
Not the detailing.
So right now, Cyther is quite comfortably ahead of Vapo. However, it can still go wrong.
My skull. My beautiful skull.
That was a very nice hit.
Oof. Skinner is escaping. This means that Cyther he will fully escape. I thought I was
However,
going to
Vapo
get caught in the
did just
floodlight.
I'll educate you a new one.
Vapo will be trying to hit the truck in order to catch it on that door there. It is in, although it's a little bit awkward. He's going to have to stay quite close just to ensure he stays in. And it is out. Only on the fourth drop as Cyther destroys Skinner and moves on to set to kill.
It's going to get really far ahead here as well. Not unrecoverably far ahead, but still quite far ahead. That's not good for Vapo. I don't know what Vapo opted to go for there, but it didn't work. So Cyther, this mission that Cyther's on set to kill, there's a very, very good chance that we'll see, as you see, hit and run. It's very, very uncommon to not see hit and run on that mission, since the boardwalk is not a nice area to get hit and run. You have objects to get, to hit, which will raise your hit and run.
Now, this is actually a mission where Vapo will have an advantage over what Cyther had, because the car build for Homer is significantly stronger than Globex. So if he does get the pin, he will destroy Skinner like that. As Cyther is going to get busted here. It might be worth it to destroy that car. Oh, never mind. The smoke wasn't dark enough. Now, Vapo here is going to pin in the car, and he's actually going to pick up 47 coins, because if you remember from Lisa, there's a room full of coins there. So, no, don't worry, Gaff. I didn't make it yet. There's a room full of coins there, and the blowing up of Skinner actually destroys a box and a vending machine, which is worth 47 coins, which you do not have to pick up.
I don't remember being here before.
Cyther missing. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say they're on now the same mission, technically. Well, not technically, they're
both
now on
here.
the same mission.
He's got it.
So that's what Vapo was aiming to do earlier, but didn't manage to do it.
Generally speaking, the way in which you can tell if that strat works or not is if you start going downwards before that forced reset occurs, you've missed it.
Jump to light speed.
That was a voice line. That was an interesting voice line. I've never heard that one before.
Let's see how sad these coins are. Vapo's hit and run is absolutely magnificent for leaving Boardwalk.
Indeed
Or
it is.
Squidport. You called Boardwalk and you infected me. Okay, Vapo moving on to the 20th drop, the 21st drop, and oh my god! Missing the 22nd drop! How could he? How could he? How could he? I'm sorry. It's the last race of the tournament. I literally have to. Okay, now Cyther here is going to be taking what we call the intended route. A lot of the long races at the end of levels, force us to go in a particular direction by putting up walls or something like that. This one doesn't. So the old strat used to be to actually go the opposite direction around the map, which I think Vapo's going to do because he's taking both of the beach coin boxes. See if, okay, I think he's going to try to go for both strat here. Now, the
Hopefully he'll
benefit of
get
going
this
this
time.
way is, you just saw it right there, side of the coins went up by 31. Well, actually
missed both
32
strat.
because he destroyed the thingy. Oh, missed both strat, yes, indeed. Now, Cyther here moving on to the final cutscene skip. Has such a buffer ahead that he can actually miss this and still be ahead of Vapo.
Although he does get it.
Very nice. Third pass, I believe. Now, I'm going to say this again. I said this during the Liquid Cyther race. But I've been playing this game on and off since it came out in 2003, 2004. It's only in August that I realized this mission name, Rigor Motors, is a pun on rigor mortis.
Wow.
I just remember, yeah, I was racing with Nefarious, who's in the chat. I was just like, hold on a second. It was quite magnificent. Oof! Cyther getting messed up by one of those drains. One thing that happens to some people is those drains are very solid and they can destroy the waste. And you actually see on
Yep.
Vapo's screen now, he's going the wrong way. The alien car is going a totally different direction. Now, I believe this is a quicker route. However, the traffic is a lot less forgiving. So if you hit something, you know, you've gone behind. As Cyther now has enough coins, he will not be requiring coins at all for the rest of the run, because the zombie car is the final required purchase.
The alien car is really close to the end. Wow.
Vapo now, let's see how he does. And one thing you won't see in Vapo, because he's obviously very quick, but you might see if you do this, is that you can just suddenly fail the mission. Because the way this game works is it just goes kind of like, wait, what are you doing here? And if you don't get to a certain point of your route before the alien car gets to a certain point, it just fails the mission on you. I think it just assumes you must be so far behind. And now onto long black probes, called Incognito in the French version.
Really?
It is indeed. And I think that makes a lot more sense, because that's actually the purpose of the zombie car, to make Homer not seem human. Because zombie cars, of course, have designated vehicles. Now, again, you'll see here, he's trying to keep a consistent distance behind the alien car, because it makes that despawn a lot more consistent and easy to measure. And I'm just going to go ahead of it, because this game has no object permanence. That's actually why the despawn works. So, by not actually looking at the alien car, it makes it significantly less likely to crash. And we're just doing another sync here.
The alien car got stuck for Cyther.
Okay, as long as we don't get sticky hedge, he'll be fine.
So Vapor's going to need to destroy 2 things to get 2 coins, and there you go.
Ideal coins, very
That's
nice.
what we call a perfect coin route.
Those are style points right there. Okay. Interestingly enough, there's actually quick ways to get out of the zombie car and talk to Frank. Is that if you get to a certain amount of damage, the door just sort of opens and stays open forever. So there's no actual animation of Homer having to reach and get the door. So it doesn't actually matter, because Cyther would have gotten to Frank by the time it was a mission trigger at the same time, whether the door is open or not. But they're just weird, like, silly, almost silly optimizations, I find, as the hearse decides to do a bit of a 180.
So I was having a bit of trouble to get off of that caravan, but it's okay. So this is the first of 4 duplicate missions, where you have to take toxic waste from the power plant to the giant mothership hovering over the school playground. We think the reason why these 4 missions are the same is because the developers simply ran out of time. I mean, we hope that's the case and they just didn't get lazy. But
Yeah, I've heard that they're supposed to be level 8 and 9.
yeah, which sounds amazing. But
Now, if you want to be really annoyed, if you look at the animation in the radioactive waste, it's really, really bad. It's very, very visually annoying, that little animation. Once you see it, you can't unsee it now. Oh, okay, Cyther decides to go to the button but not press it. Showing true self-restraint, the button but that he will not push.
Vapo having a bit of a siege with the camera over there. Not now, just despawning traffic, but earlier.
Hover car, it's just a very, very difficult car to control. It's got absolutely no traction. And also it's got no e-brake. It's the only vehicle in the game without an e-brake. So the only thing you can do is full brakes and turns, and it's very, very bad at turning. If you want to, just go into the game, get Lucas Mod Launcher, unlock all cars, and just drive around with a hover car for a bit, and you'll start to understand why it is everyone hates it.
Oh, so
messing up that way.
What there?
I'd say it's closer than yesterday's race. At this point, Vapo was so far ahead that he would have had to have dropped the waste on either Autotopsy 2 or 3 in such a way that he would have to restart the mission. Right now, Cyther's at the point where any waste drops really puts Vapo back in the game, as Cyther moves into the final platforming element of the game.
This platforming, honestly, if you fall off, it doesn't waste too much time. It certainly wastes time, but it doesn't waste too much time if you know what you're doing. Now, if you get to that specific part there, the incline of the crashed spaceship isn't enough to just make you fall off. Otherwise, you just start sliding down the side of the spaceship. And now this is it. This is the third to last mission.
Also, I've had this sort of game theory. There's a UFO crashed in there because the aliens knew the way to destroy their UFOs was with nuclear waste. So they decide to go there and take the nuclear plants, but they crash. There's my game theory for you, everyone.
That is an interesting theory.
Now they can high five as one enters and one leaves the trailer park on different missions.
Oh, that was almost a waste drop for Cyther there. Couldn't quite see through the smoke of the car. Cyther really needs to, there you go, get that wrench, because he couldn't see where he was going. Cyther going really fast past these jumps as well. Really fast.
Okay, now on the second and more difficult part, and actually the Gertie's on now. The second last one is the kind of like the point of no return, where if you do fall off, as long as it's not backwards, you're safe. You can just run. And now his cursor's on the screen, so let's all just like angry face at Vapo. Get your cursor off the screen.
I think it's gone. It's gone.
Thank the heavens, as Cyther moves into Autotopsy Part 2. For me, I find this is like the most pleasant of the 3 Autotopsies, because the 70 sports car, if you hit anything with any substance, it will change directions. With the World War II vehicle with the rocket cart with the rocket on the back, it's just really hard to control. But Bandit is just really, really pleasant to drive quickly, I find.
I think we can all agree though that the music at the start of There's Something About Monty is the best. So, to be honest, there's not really a whole lot to talk about, just let's hope Vapo doesn't drop the waste.
Once again, this is just a The thing is, it's a very, very intense thing to speedrun, but it's a very, very dull thing to commentate. Because there's not a great deal to say other than just what you can
fast.
see. Yeah. Go quickaroo. Go quickarooer. Go quickaroo-esque. What else is there to say?
Mess you up. This town is going to pay for this.
I mean, if you want a rule of speedrunning, it's just do the fast. That's it.
Yeah, the real speedrunning is do speed.
Don't do speed.
Scratch my car.
Do the fast. In fact,
That's what I'm saying,
the
do
words
the
from that is the words from Vapo himself. Vapo, I asked Vapo for a hint. How do I get better PVs? He just said do the fast, and that's been my philosophy ever since.
Now, Cider here is moving towards the end of Autopsy 2. Again, it's a very safe one. Should be getting a nice catch here. Let's see. Gets it, although misses Human Cookbook. So everyone SMH at Cider, or rather SOH, collectively will shake our head. And now on to the final mission of the game, Autopsy Part 3. Are you starting to notice a trend here? I think, like, the saving grace of this mission is that Grandpa has some of the best voice lines in the game. Things
They can
like,
get very repetitive.
it was 19 Diggity 2, we had to save Diggity because this Kaiser had stolen our word 20. I'd say though that you don't really see Grandpa that much, unless you play bonus missions. Yeah, I don't think he's actually in a car except for this one. So you don't really get repetitive unless you finish missions or unless you finish runs constantly, which is something I sure as hell don't do. Vapo41 hit and run, moving towards the Krusty Burger sign. There's probably about 2 more resets that these police cars can get that will actually be in front of him. I'd say he's safe right now. Oh, no, I called that too early. I was correct the first time. Basically, as you go beyond certain points, the police cars will respawn in order to make them difficult. The very difficult thing is, I keep saying difficult. The tricky thing is, obviously, when they come head-on, they're more likely to hit you. If they hit you, they're more likely to destroy your waist.
So now it's tense now. If Cyther drops the waist,
He's
Vapo
got
will-
relatively controlled hit and run. He should be fine. I don't think he's going to get hit and run here. It's very high, but he knows how to control it. He'll slow down here, take the left-hand lane, and just go away. So I do suspect he's going to be finishing here well, although I really do hope I haven't jinxed it. Oh, hit and run here,
Yes,
although
hit and
it's
run.
going to be
This-
totally
this-
safe. There's
this-
at most one more reset that can be, You can see here, I see the police cars don't respawn, and he's already past them. So there's absolutely no danger in those police cars because he's already on an elevated position, and he could just get past. So we now declare Cythertime the winner of the Simpsons Hit and Run Speed Gaming Tournament. Congratulations, and please do
Congratulations to
enter this call whenever you so please, and we will give you a quick interview whilst Vapo brings the waist back. GG. On 1:32:29, a wholly respectable time. Although I'd say for Cyther, I think he's generally pushed up his game, so I think he's looking for pretty consistent 131s. He's in the setup. He will be joining us briefly? Joining us shortly. Hopefully it won't be too brief. Motion, we can't really say that. Like, there are definitely things you can sort of try to account for. Things like, you would have had 50 more coins, which means you wouldn't have had to pick up the wasp at the gazebo at Apu, which lost him a bit of time. Trying to think of other examples. Well, obviously there's the actual thing of getting the armor truck strats quicker. So it's difficult to say, but, you know, it's all just hypotheticals. And Vapo here will finish with a 133.53. And hello, the winner of the tournament, Cythertime. Joining us shortly,
Hi.
hopefully it won't be too brief.
Hello.
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 Motions,
Congratulations.
I can't really say that.
That was a struggle.
Like, there are definitely things you can sort of try to
I mean,
accomplish.
after the cutscene that you missed, you was behind, but you really did storm it back.
I was 1 minute and 57 behind after Return of the Nearly Dead.
Yeah.
And then I came back to... I was 18 seconds behind after Duff for Me.
That is an
Yeah.
intense late game.
Yeah, it was really good. 1458 Apu helps a lot.
Oh wow. Yeah.
How do you feel about that armored truck? It just looked like it was destroyed. The Quimby truck was there.
It looked very similar to how I did against Liquids, and I got lucky again.
Yeah. Funnily enough, you and Vapor had the same Quimby truck coming from at exactly the same time.
Oh no, it was exactly the same as Liquid. As the
Yeah,
Liquid
it's
race.
kind of, it's just
Yeah.
like your slithery sleuthing with Liquid. Exactly the same thing happened, but you just reacted
no,
better or got better luck.
No, he had the same thing when he had a Quimby truck, I had a Quimby truck, I got the strat, he didn't. It was the same thing, but Vapor
Yeah.
didn't get it this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, you was 5 seconds behind Vapor as well.
Yeah,
So
I was watching. I was about 50 seconds behind, but then I was like, oh, I'm bringing it back. Oh, I'm winning. I'm more winning.
Yeah.
Okay.
like it really, really did kind of like really catch up at the end, and you really did get a very interesting race.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm not sure. Will Vapor reveal his voice? I'm not entirely sure.
I can confirm he's not gonna. No,
Vapor probably won't.
unless he changes his mind. Although he did. Say
I'm pretty
earlier.
sure if he had won, he would have done it. Definitely.
Oh, we don't know.
Oh, maybe. Maybe not. No voice reveal. All right.
What a shame. Not yet. Not yet.
I can't believe I missed the first cutscene again. I can't believe
Yeah.
I missed the first cutscene again.
Like throughout the start of it,
Yeah,
I was trying to make comparisons, like between yesterday's race and today, and I was just saying is like it seemed very similar in terms of how things
Yeah,
acted.
the signs were ominous. They really
Yeah.
were.
Like your cola, like you and Vapor had pretty bad cola trucks yesterday, but today they were actually much better in comparison.
Oh yeah. Indeed to be so. But no, I'm happy. I did it. I'm looking forward to next year.
Next year will be interesting.
Oh yeah.
Ideally, I want to go out in like round 4 of losers bracket. Ideally. Okay, we got any more questions for Cider or Vapo?
don't think so.
What do I win? I don't think I win
um,
anything, do I?
The
Sense of achievement.
pride. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you get a
love it.
sense of achievement.
Oh, hang on, let me
That's
just
all you
receive the
get.
pride.
Oh, and
That
bragging
yeah.
rights as well.
fuzzy feeling inside.
Whoa. Whoa, I love it. That's good pride. But no, Vapo, GG man, you gave me a hard time. Yes, you won yesterday, and you gave me such a hard time today. Thanks for making this race good. Great, I should say great. Yeah, great.
Mm. Okay, Liquid said you won the world record, so congratulations, you're now the world record holder.
I want to keep going until 129. Definitely.
I'd say
That
definitely
is
in you. You've got that in you.
Oh yeah. I can't believe it. It's 2 months. 2 months of constant weekly tournaments, and now it's over.
And now what? Yeah, let's just all sit down in a corner and just wait till next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
If you don't mind, guys, would you mind if I do some little bit of outro before I hand it over to you guys.
Okay,
Go
go ahead,
Um,
Sadly.
Firstly, there are some people I must thank. Firstly, thank you very much to Sadly, who, well, not invented, but who came up with the idea of a tournament for this, and helped make the vast majority of it happen. So this tournament would not happen without Sadly. Second of all, thanks so much to Project OP, who designed the actual layout and designed the overall screen for the feeds to fit in. Thanks so much for that. Also, thanks so much to Speed Gaming for hosting us. In particular, with thanks to Josh, who has really contributed so much to this tournament and to the recent community as well. So I'd like to thank him as well. And thanks to all the runners, 30 runners. So we attracted a lot more people than I thought. And thanks to the commentators as well. I know there was some people who I was exclusively commentator, but thank you for that. During this tournament, we've had 15 PBs, I think. We've had 15 PBs in this tournament alone. So, yeah, anything can happen during a tournament, and it usually does. So, thank you so much for that. And, yeah, I don't think I have any more to say. I'll hand it back to you guys.
Okay, I think I'll take the reins here for the final outro.
Go for it.
Go for it.
And I think one individual who needs to be thanked is Snark, who sadly told me also helped out with the layout. And to every single person who competed, every single person who had fun. And I think I'm going to do a bit like a Bob Ross here. And I'll extend my invitation to you to join the community. And sincerely enjoy the game that is Hit and Run. And thank you to every single person who came back race after race, whether it was on Speed Gaming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 126 Speed Gaming, I don't know, whichever one it was. You've all been here and you've all been fantastic viewers, and it's been great to bring it to you. So I'd like to also thank my fellow co-commentators throughout the whole thing, but in particular today, Ask Jordan, Toombs, and Gady, and my apologies for arriving late. And to Vapo Insider for giving us a fantastic final.
I can't believe you've done that.
And with that fine reference, we are out.
Adios.
Okay, we're finished. I fucking love that we just finished with a fine reference. I love it.